मास्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। Chant the Dhyana Shloka. Antaryascha bhavirvidutatimiram jyotirmayam shashvatam sthanam prapya virajate vinamatam ajnanamunmudayam pashyan vishvamapidamullasatiyo vishvasya pare paraha tasmai Shri Ramanaya Lokagurave Shokasya Handrena. Okay, let's chant the first 4 verses. You can chant together. Karturajnaya prapyate kalam karma kimbaram karma tajjanam kritimaho dadau patana karanam halamashashvatam gati nirodhakam ishwararpitam nichaya kritam chitta shodhakam mukti sadhakam kaya manah karyamuttamam pujanam japashchintanam kranam. Okay, very good. So we saw 4 verses so far. Yeah? And last week, anybody remembers what we covered? Covered about japa, right? We talked about japa. Japa means the repetition of the name of Bhagavan or the repetition of a mantra. We saw that. And we also saw how powerful the name can be, how powerful thoughts can be to change our whole constitution. Somebody sent me an experiment recently that what they did was they took a vacuum and they emptied all the air, everything out of it, and what was left was photons there. And so they scattered in the vacuum, and they put some DNA sample there. When they put the DNA sample, all the photons, they arranged themselves around that DNA sample in a very particular order. They changed, they just arranged themselves around it. And then the most surprising thing is when they took out that DNA sample, the photons were still in that arrangement. They were still in that, they did not go back to their original state. Now what does this say? This is saying that everything has an impact on everything. Any thought, any vibration, it has an impact even on a non-conscious thing, non-sentient thing, it has an impact. And this is also scientifically proven. You can all go and look deeper. But this is the power of mantra. It actually changes our entire constitution. All these thoughts, all these words, they have the power to change all the cells in our body. They have that power. And that's why those great devotees whom we talked about last time, they just vibrate at a very different level. So japa is really changing our thought structure. Changing our thought structure, and we saw it changes the quantity of thoughts, makes it very focused, single-pointed. It changes the quality of thoughts. So now I'm thinking of diviner things instead of garbage. And it changes the direction of thoughts. So now my thinking is going inward instead of outward. And those who chant anything, you chant, you listen, you will feel the effect of it. You don't need to do too much research. You just do it. And you yourself will see how it changes our whole life. So it's a very important sadhana. Very important. That's why Bhagavan Krishna says, of all the yajnas, I am japa. So if we're not doing any spiritual practice, this is one that we should all take up. So I know I asked you to bring japa malas also today. So at the end of today's talk, towards the end, we can look at how to use it. So puja is something that is involving body, speech, mind. And we saw that traditionally we have 16 steps to puja. Japa involves chanting with the mind and speech. And it involves chanting the divine name. And Chintanam now, also, it just involves the mind. When that japa becomes so subtle, we're chanting, and we're holding on to the form of our beloved deity. After chanting for so long, the words just naturally stop. Because our entire being feels drawn to that form. And the mind alone is contemplating on that form. When the mind alone is contemplating on that form, that's called Chintana. And it's just going through there. Very, very beautifully connecting with that form. So the sadhana, or the spiritual practices for devotion, or the path of Bhakti Yoga, are these three. Puja, japa, chintana. Yeah? So this is clear, and it gets subtler. Now, he's going to go into how deep does our puja have to be? What is the depth of puja that we should do in our homes? So let's see verse number 5. I'll chant and then please repeat after me. Jagata Ishadi Yukta Sevanam. Jagata Ishadi Yukta Sevanam. Ashtamurti Deva Pujanam. Ashtamurti Deva Pujanam. Jagat together. Jagata Ishadi Yukta Sevanam. Ashtamurti Deva Pujanam. Okay, so what is the highest form of puja? Jagata. Jagata means of this world. Sevanam. Service of the world. With what attitude? Ishadi Yukta. With the attitude that this world is the Lord. This world is Bhagavan. And what kind of Bhagavan? Ashtamurti Bhrit. The one who has the eightfold forms. Deva Pujanam. That is true worship of the Lord. So serving the world with the attitude of serving the Lord who is a wielder of eightfold forms. That is true worship of the Lord. So that puja of a form in my home, it's meant to take me to a higher understanding that my puja room now should be the world. My puja room should now be the world. And everything that I do, not only rotating this thali, but every single thing I do should be of service to the world. Because service of the world is service of God. That's how high the puja should go. That when I serve the world, I am serving Bhagavan. I am serving divinity. So how are we to understand this? See, our scriptures tell us that actually we are one. And how are we one? We're going to see today how we are actually one in so many different levels. First thing we have to see is the world. How is this world coming about? How is this world coming about? So when something is created, we know that there has to be a creator, right? So this book is created, so there has to be a creator of the book, yes? This microphone is created, so there has to be a creator of the microphone. Now this world is created, so what does that mean? There has to be a creator of the world, right? Now, so that's step 1. Step 2, this book, the one who creates this book has to have knowledge of how to create it. Yes? You have to know how to create a book. Only then you can create a book. Yeah? The one who created this microphone has to have knowledge of how to create the microphone. So the one who created this world has to have what? Knowledge of how to create the world. And the world is infinite. So the knowledge has to be infinite, right? So this being has to be all-knowing, or what we call omniscient. Right? We've heard these terms, omniscient. That God is omniscient. Yes? So step 2, the creator has to be all-knowing. Now, this creator can know, but if the creator is not capable, then what will happen? Nothing will be done, right? So the one who created this book has to know how to create it, but has to have the ability to do it, right? Many times we have great ideas, but nobody's doing anything. Nothing happens, right? We've all been in these situations where everybody's exchanging wonderful ideas, but when it comes time to do, nobody does. So nothing happens. So the creator of this book knows how to create it and also has the ability to create it. Only then it gets created. The creator of this microphone knows how to create the mic and has the ability to make it. Only then it can be made. So, therefore we say that Bhagavan is not only all-knowing but all-powerful. So, omnipotent. We use this term, omnipotent. Yeah? So now we have a Lord who's the creator of everything, who's all-knowing, and who is all-powerful. Omniscient, omnipotent. You're with me so far? So 3 steps. Now, many religions also believe this, that there is a God, there is a being that is there who creates the world, who's all-knowing, all-powerful. But in Hinduism, it varies a little bit. How does it vary? Because we then begin to ask the question, what material did God make the world from? Out of what material is this world made out of? If we say there's another material other than God, that means God is not infinite, because there's something other than God. If we say there's another material other than God, then it means that God is not all-powerful after all, because something else is there. God is not all-knowing after all, because something else is there to be known. So, the material with which the world is made of is also God. So we say that God, Ishvara, is the intelligent cause and also the material cause. Intelligent cause, all-knowing, all-powerful, but material cause, also this world is made out of Bhagavan or Ishvara. So when we look at our daily life example, let's say the potter and the clay. The potter is the intelligent cause, one who has knowledge and ability. The clay is a material cause, material with which it's made out of. They're separate things. The potter doesn't become clay. Right? If the potter becomes clay, then the potter would be in every clay ornament. In terms of a gold jeweler, the gold jeweler and gold. Gold jeweler is the one who is the intelligent cause, and the gold is the material cause. The jeweler doesn't become gold. They're separate. But what we're saying here is it's the same. The example that our scripture gives is the spider. Spider creates the web out of its own self, right? So spider is the intelligent cause, the web is the material cause. It creates the web from its own self, and it is sustained in the web, and then it withdraws the web. So it is both the intelligent cause, because it's all-knowing and all-powerful, and it's the material cause, the web. So we say that Bhagavan or Ishvara is both. And because Bhagavan is both, then Bhagavan is in every single thing. That Lord pervades every single thing, every single space, every single person, every single being, living and non-living. So we say that it is true. In and through all of this is God. God cannot be separate from this. In and through this is God. Now, if we want to analyze it a little more, let's analyze it a little bit more, that in 3 levels, we are actually one. So not only at the level of what we're created from, we're all made of the same substance. Bhagavan is in and through us, not only at that level, but now I'm going to take 3 other levels, and we'll see how we are actually one. Because only in understanding this, then all values and virtues will come alive. Now at the gross level, at the level of the body, our scriptures say that we are one. How are we one? Think. Now, what is the body made of? 5 elements. Space, air, fire, water, earth. Yeah? There's space in the body. Any doubts? There's air in the body. Water, fire, earth. Yes? We all have this in our body. Now, can your body exist without space? No. There has to be some space even in between our bones. Can our body exist without air? Maybe for 30 seconds. Can our body exist without heat? Can our body exist without water? And can it exist without food? What does this tell us? It means that the body is 5 elements. Because if it can't exist without the 5 elements, it dies, then it is the 5 elements. This is only 5 elements. There's only 5 elements. Your body's 5 elements. This is 5 elements. Every other body is only 5 elements. And we don't say, when we count air, we don't say there's 2 airs or 3 airs. Have we ever heard that? There's only 1 air. There's only 1 space that's pervading everything. There's only 1 air. That same air is going in my body, it's going out of your body, it's going in someone else's body, it's going out of somebody else's body. It is only 1 air. It's not many airs. It's only 1 heat from the sun. It's not many heats. It's only 1 heat that's going in and out of our bodies. There's only 1 water. It might be now into different rivers and ponds and all of that, but it's only 1 big, huge body of water. It's going in and out of our bodies. And there's only 1 earth that's going in and out of our bodies. So all of this is to tell us that actually in this level also we are one. We are all 5 elements. And not only are we 5 elements, the bodies, this is also 5 elements. This is also 5 elements. Right? This is also 5 elements. So in the gross level, we are one. We are not separate. You cannot separate us. There's a seeming separation only because of space and time. It's like when the fetus is in the mother's womb, she's one with the fetus. There's no separation. But when there's space that comes in between, she feels a separation, a little bit of a separation. It's only coming because of space and time. This notion that we are separate. We're actually not. So at the gross level, we are one. Now we come to the subtle level. The subtle level, the world of thoughts. How do you think we are one in the world of thoughts? How are we one? Do you think there's such a thing as an individual idea or individual thought? There's none. Even if I say that I am speaking today on Upadesha Sara, that's not my own individual thought. For me to have such a thought, the book has to exist, author has to exist, paper, language has to exist, the tongue has to exist. So many different ideas, things have to exist in that one thought. So actually there is no individual thought. There's no, it was my idea. I'm going to trademark it. I'm going to patent it. I'm going to call it my own. It was my discovery. No. And I think it was Newton who said, when somebody else said, you're so great and wonderful, and he said, it's only because I'm stepping on the shoulder of giants. Not that I did anything on my own. So every single thought or idea is all connected. It's not our original thing. It's all connected. And every single thought is influencing other thoughts. And that's how you notice, I'm sure this also would have happened to you, that you would have been in front of somebody, you're thinking of something and the person says it. And you say, oh my gosh, I was just thinking that. How is that? Or you think of somebody and all of a sudden they message you or they call you. How is that? Because all of our thoughts are interlinked. Interlinked in totality. Every single thought is interlinked. So even in the thought level, we are actually one. We are one. That's why when we go to different places, you could feel the vibrations. You could feel certain thoughts. You could feel whether it's a peaceful atmosphere or not. And when you go to another location, you could feel the kinds of thoughts, the kinds of energies that are there. Because we are one at the thought level. To the extent that we connect to totality, to that extent the mind will be purer. Because totality is Bhagavan. To the extent that we are separate from totality, the mind will be impure. So the more we are plugged into totality, we have purer thoughts. The more that we are unplugged from totality, we have impure thoughts. Right? There's only one. Now, at the causal level is ignorance, blankness. Even at that level, we are one. And what's the expression of that? When we go to sleep, what happens? All of us have the same experience. I don't know what happened, but I was in bliss. We all have that experience. And when we sleep, I don't know what happened, but I feel bliss. Everyone's deep sleep is exactly the same. And that's why when we go on a flight, there's first class service and business class service and economy class service. But there's no first class sleep. Even if you're sitting on first class and you sleep, it's the same as the way the economy person sleeps. It's the same sleep. And you're not going to get any different sleep. You just might get a different service. You're not going to get different sleep. Because sleep is the same for all. The sleep of a dog is the same as a human. The sleep of a cat is the same as a human. In deep sleep, in that ignorance, we are all the same. It's all one only. So in these levels, we are actually one. Actually one. So first thing is that Bhagavan is pervading this whole world. Everything has Bhagavan in it. Is pervading the entire world. Second thing is, at the gross level, we are all 5 elements. Third thing is, at the subtle element, we are all thoughts. And fourth thing is, at the causal level, all of our ignorance is the same. The same. So, when we understand that we are actually one, what is the attitude that will come? When we understand we're actually one, what's the attitude? What would we feel in our hearts when we know we are one? Right? Sometimes when, let us say you're a mother, and then somebody else is a mother, you feel like, okay, she's a mom, I understand what she's going through. Or he's a father, I'm a father, I understand what he's going through. You feel that sense, right? But what happens when we know we are actually one? On an even bigger level. The feelings that will come will be awe, respect, love, right? If we know that we're actually one, how do you think we would treat people? Much more respect, because that person is me. I think in the Bible they have, do unto others what you would have them do unto you. So that's exactly what we're saying, but we're saying, why? Because we are one. So our love, our reverence for people will be different. We would actually be able to respect all people, of all backgrounds, of all faiths, all people. We would actually be able to learn how to see oneness in them. And not just beings, but in things also. We understand that this is also one with me. This is also one with me. This is also one with me. So a feeling of love comes, a feeling of respect comes. And what else comes? A feeling of awareness. That everything I think, or I say, or I do has an effect on everything and everyone. Not just everyone, everything. Everything I think has an effect. It's a vibration that's going out in the universe. Everything that I say has an effect. It is going out in the universe. Everything that I do has an effect on beings and things. And so when we go to pilgrimage places where great Mahatmas live, you can feel their presence where they sat. Because that whole seat is transformed. The whole place is transformed because they lived there. And years after they lived there, you can feel that. You can feel that. So that's why they have a Samadhi Sthala of great Mahatmas. They have a place where their Samadhi is, because when you stay there, you feel that presence. It's unmistakable. So this understanding leads us to love, leads us to awareness, and it also leads us to awe. One great monk, he said, "Where is this paper from?" when I look at this paper, I can't tell when it began, how it began, because it was made from the barks of a tree. And when I think about the tree, I can't tell where it began, how it began, because the tree needs rain and it needs the sun. And those things are timeless. So I am in awe because I can't tell when this paper came. But what I can tell is that when I'm touching the paper, I'm touching the sun. How beautiful. When I'm touching the paper, I'm touching the rain. Because all of these factors came to make this paper what it is. Yeah? So this is called Ishadhi Yukta. That I understand that this whole world is Bhagavan. And when I begin to serve the world with that, that is a true meaning of puja. So in the beginning stages, puja is meant to get us into a habit of worshipping one form. It's meant to get us into this habit of worshipping one form so that slowly, slowly we question, who is this form? What am I worshipping? Who is actually Shiva, or who is actually Krishna? Then I begin to understand that Shiva or Krishna or Devi is the creator of the world. Then what does that mean, that they're the creator of the world? It means they appear as their entire world. It means that they are in and through everything. It means that now my puja room should expand to the world. That's how far puja should go. So that simple ritualistic offering is meant to take us to that great depth as we get deeper into it. Because as we get deeper, as we worship, the mind becomes very subtle, and it deeply thinks. So this is Jagata Ishadhi Yukta Sevanam Ashtamurti Vrit Deva Puja. So all of the values that we practice, they stem from this. Because when we not only believe or feel, here we're not saying we feel one. Not only believe we're one, we know we're one. And when we know we're one, then all the values come to life. As we said, love, reverence, awareness, and even non-violence, not wanting to hurt anybody, not wanting to harm anybody, because we're the same. We're exactly the same. Anyone has any questions about this verse? Yeah.
Shivani, how do we use this in the real world? Like for example, at work, we're competing against others for promotion, for recognition. How do you translate this in the real world?
So that's a good question. So how do you translate this into real world? Because we're competing with each other for promotions and recognition. So see, our goal, first of all, is missed. We've lost the vision. When we're in the real world, our goal should not be a promotion or should not be recognition. Our goal should be, how can everybody best evolve through what I'm doing? That is seeing oneness, that I'm not here for my own self, for my own promotion, for my own recognition, for my own this. I am here to see how everybody can evolve and grow in the best way by what I can provide. I'm here to use my talent, my ability, my potential for that. And if that is my attitude, naturally I will rise. Naturally people grow. And this we can see in the scriptures. One beautiful example is Hanumanji. We all know Hanumanji. Now, he was the greatest sevak, and he was praised by so many people. But he never boasted, he never competed, he never harmed anybody. The only thing he thought of the whole time was Sri Rama. And what can I do for the welfare of all? That's the only thing he had in his mind. And because he had only that in his mind, his work was so pure and beautifully accomplished. And at the end of the day, all of them praised Hanumanji. Even Bhagwan praised Hanumanji. So in the beginning, in work or in our own environments, our vision has to rise that I'm here for a greater purpose. I'm not here just for a mere raise or mere promotion. That's very sad. That's very sad if that my only goal is to get a promotion. That's really a sad life. That shows how selfish the mind is.